has been where we've continued to just hit a wall. But I am excited about some of these other ideas to kind of forge forward and share some positivity. So I don't want you to feel like you're alone in that, Katrina.
Wide receivers wide open.
Thank you,
He
Lori.
had to stop and go on the left.
Right. Thanks to put your hands still up.
Then he had a dig in the middle of the field.
So here's my suggestion, because I kind of ran into the same roadblock of being kind of having a hard time meeting. So I'll meet with each grade level of Project U members during their lunch in an area where we can social distance.
He passed up easy,
and I'm looking forward to meeting with all of the kids
frankly, I don't think it was planned,
as a whole, but it has worked out really well to meet with just during their grade level lunches.
It did work for him. It was fantastic.
I mean, it takes a while. It takes about
and he made it work in college
an hour and a half, 2 hours of my day. But I feel like it's important, and the kids look forward to it too. So that's just one way. That's how I presented it to my administration. Was it's really important that we move forward with this, and this is my plan.
He made bad decisions. So there's a play on the goal line. A great example of this. A play on the goal line where he has.
Now, are you all having virtual students in Project U as well?
We do have two virtual students, and we just I just invite them through Teams, and they can participate if they want. Sometimes they join and sometimes they don't, because it is their lunchtime as well. So with kids being on the computer all day, sometimes it's hard for them. So I just open it up that way.
At Holston, we are allowed to have clubs after school, so I have had a couple virtual kiddos who they get dropped off at the end of the school day, and they come and join us at the end of the day.
And growing up, if you're a quarterback, if a team covers the screen pass,
We're planning to have meetings after school as well. We haven't done anything yet either, so you're definitely not behind. We've been trying to plan, but we are only allowed to have virtual meetings for Project U in the building because we're cohorted. Every student stays in their area, and even lunches only have that designated area those particular students can go into in a particular table. So we are kind of on lockdown. So our virtual kids, that kind of puts our virtual kids and our in-person kids on the same playing field as far as being able to join meetings. So we're hoping to have our first virtual meeting here in the next couple of weeks after school with any kids that want to join. And then we have some leadership students that we'll meet with through Teams as well.
And as a result, he did two things. It meant he took a lot of unnecessary hits, and he threw a lot of really dangerous throws. But we need to focus in on this fact that he got hit a lot. It's really important. Don't forget it. I mean, the guy took a lot of hits. Because of his play style, the guy got rocked over and over and over again. He got hit. I cannot emphasize this enough. Johnny Manziel,
what do you need from me?
A bunch of hits.
What can I do for you? What at all do you need?
In 2013 against Alabama, Johnny Manziel made a ridiculous play. It's 3rd and 8.
Well,
he runs around a bunch. He avoids a sack and throws the ball up in the middle of the field. And his wide receiver makes an incredible catch for a first down.
I guess I could talk to our tech person.
It's a wildly fun highlight. If you're watching Sports Center, it's brilliant. If you're the director of Sports Center, you're so happy.
Go in Canvas,
you're a big fan of Johnny Manziel, and you love what he just did. He made your job so much easier.
Get help with.
So it's a fun highlight, but the reality is,
Jennifer, can you help Katrina with that?
I can, Katrina. It's
one of the number one
and actually,
cardinal sins
Nicole,
for a quarterback
with her
is you should not throw the ball up for grabs
on how
later in a
to
play in the middle of the field. You can't just throw the ball up in the middle of the field late in a play. It's a bad idea.
We could think of all kinds of things to do. We did
young
a virtual college door decorating contest with links.
When you go through your progression and you get through the end of your
progression and
do
turn
not
that
just
into
throw the ball up for grabs in the middle of the field. A lot of quarterbacks do this.
Entries, and
find
they were
your check
all
down,
so cool, like
throw
the
the ball
things they
away,
came up
be
with for their
disciplined with the ball.
different
Do not
college
just throw the
goals.
ball up in the middle of the field.
So I'm thinking it'll be something similar to that.
Johnny Manziel got incredibly lucky in this instance against Alabama on 3rd and 8.
The Bitmoji classroom when she did the training, and
but it didn't always work.
I'll just put
what it did is it set a really bad
format for them,
right? It's
kind of
building
just like a
bad
thing they can
habits
use. And then
that would come back to haunt him later in
through
life.
Canvas, I used the
Drew
training
threw a
that was on
lot of
the
interceptions
counselor PD
on
thing.
dangerous passes. The
I
guy's
forget
kind of
who
a
did it,
riverboat
but she did a training on how for
Sometimes it
counselors
works.
to have a Canvas
Sometimes
course.
it doesn't, but the point is,
and then I had
was
my
building.
tech people help with that, and that has been. I was really hesitant about that. I was kind of scared of Canvas, but it's been really great. Kendall helped some too, kind of getting that started for us. But now that we're rolling in it, got past the scary, it's so helpful. Students message us, even the ones here in the building, because like I said, we're kind of on lockdown, but they message us through that quite often, and that gives them access to us anytime they need it through those messages. It's really cool. So I just watched those two PDs and then got a little help from tech people. But Katrina, if you want to call me here at Gresham or email me or anything, I'm happy to help.
I'm the oldest one on here. It took me a whole weekend to get a Bitmoji. And then I looked at my Bitmoji and I saw other people and I thought, I need to be fatter on my Bitmoji, because how did you just get that stick thing? And so I was searching and searching and searching, because everybody else kind of looked like their bodies, but there I was, stick thin. I mean, I liked it for a few minutes, but it wasn't me. It took me about 3 hours to find out how to add pounds to your body, but it was just a little setting. So this whole pandemic has stretched us all to learn something different. I mean, the Bitmoji, your little class was wonderful. You can go back on there and watch those, Katrina. Any of those classes that they're talking about, you can go back on to.
That's how he ran. The way he ran in college
that Teresa Nixon sends out, you can go back on there and watch some of those. I'm pretty sure.
Get away from things. And this was in college, right?
So, but it is stretching us and learning how.
And the fact that.
But yeah, now I look like myself.
So the FitTrack Smart Scale that every fitness and weight loss coach is.
So it helps that when you take that first picture, it does your hair for you. So
raving about
is there anything at all?
Average
Maddie,
athletes.
What are you guys doing?
I mean, look, above average compared to you and me, but in the world of football, a college athlete is not comparable to a professional athlete.
We have not been able to get started
AF,
either,
XFL,
so we're
CFL,
in the same boat
NFL.
as many other people.
They're all not as good. They're all better than a college football
Katrina,
athlete.
setting up a Canvas page
and Johnny Manziel was not particularly fast. He was just elusive.
I'd be happy to help you with that as well.
Slippery
So
athlete,
it is really great to message students
and in the NFL against better
have some resources
athletes,
on there for them.
He was not going to be able to break those tackles.
Just getting together and hear that you're not the only one not doing anything.
Wasn't
Does that make
realistic.
you feel
It didn't translate to the NFL, because those tackles he broke in college, he wasn't going to break in the NFL. He wasn't going to get out of those tackles. He wasn't going to be able to run for 40 yards.
I never want you all to feel like there's anybody like
going
around with a measuring stick to judge what you're doing. If you're just getting up every morning and going to school, you're doing something really big.
Really great in the quick game.
I just want you to know that you all being in the building and smiling at those kids, there's nothing that can replace that. There's no amount of training. There's no amount of giveaways. There's nothing that can replace that smiling face that you give to those kids. Because some of those kids don't get that
on a
at
consistent
home,
basis. Johnny
and they
Manziel is
look
not
forward
threading
to
the
yours
needle
every day.
in the tight windows. Now again, there's a throw against Alabama down the right sideline.
I won't keep you
it's a
for
dime.
a meeting.
It's a perfect throw into a
just
tight
know
window.
But
those throws were not common. Most of the time,
there's
in fact,
a lot of things that are out there. Red Ribbon Week, if you need Red Ribbon Week materials,
the guy had
I have.
opportunities
Let me tell you
to make
what I
throws
have.
into tight windows.
You send me an email after this, I'll get it to you.
Just didn't
I
happen.
have pencils,
Over tight
bracelets,
windows, he
place
wouldn't.
cards, and red ribbons. And I know probably the red ribbons aren't a big thing for middle school, but the bracelets and the pencils, everybody loves pencils. And so what I have to send out to you is the number of in-person kids you have in your building. So if you send to me that you want it, I have a chart that I look at to see how many we send to you. So if you're interested in those things, just drop me an email.
Below average arm strength. I mean,
Red Ribbon Week is usually the last week.
A high level
it's actually longer than a week, but the last week of October.
And finally, you must acknowledge
Johnny
Johnny
on drug
Manziel
prevention. If you want to do anything for drug prevention, make an announcement.
I mean, his freshman year
over
when he
the
won the Heisman
intercom
Trophy,
or anything like that.
Offensive genius,
Teachers would love pencils on the desk. I'm sure you could give every teacher pencils. They would put them on the desk for you. There wouldn't be any touching except for that teacher touching them. However you can do that. if you want those things, just let me know. As far as that goes, I'm going to send out an email. I know Hannah, Brooke, and I are in a training next week, and we will try to just open it up the following week, maybe get together and just kind of have a share with you all, some things that we learned from that training, and just share it that way. And if you all have anything to share, or
I mean, his freshman year when he won the Heisman Trophy,
whatever,
he had an
with each
offensive
other,
genius, Cliff Kingsbury.
I have put in the, if I send you an email and have you on a group, you have to go into that email to get it, and it makes it harder.
It's a huge advantage.
But I don't like to put everybody's email on and send something so that you don't get this long thing with everybody's email. But I will do that on this next email so that you all will have everybody's email. The only thing, Bearden, I've got to find out, and Tate, I'll
then you look at how he
with someone at your school. Probably Ruth can let me know who's actually going to be your Project U coordinator, so I can put their name on there, and they actually are the one that gets the information. So do y'all have any questions or anything else to share? I'm gonna let y'all off here. No reason to keep you on here. Brooke and Hannah, if you all will stay on a little bit longer and talk to y'all just a little bit about the training coming up. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
What? Ramona? Ramona?
Yeah.
He played. And numerous times, his teammates bailed him out with amazing catches. I mean, he threw the ball for grabs all the time. 50-50 throws where either your guy's going to get it or the defense is going to get it. And he depended on his wide receivers making great catches. Usually he was throwing to Mike Evans. Mike Evans was a top 10 pick in the 2014 NFL Draft. He was the number 7 overall pick. And to this day, Mike Evans is one of the best jump ball wide receivers in the NFL. I mean, in 2013, for context on how good Mike Evans was, 2013 against Alabama, Mike Evans had 7 catches for a whopping 279 receiving yards.
Sheesh.
So I think it's safe to say Johnny Manziel had just a little bit of help in college.
Sheesh.
So the guy was unreal. Super fun to watch. Really, really talented. But his game and his style of play did not translate well to the NFL. Didn't project well. And as a result, when you watch film, all those mistakes, all those bad habits didn't pan out. And this is why, right here, this is why Johnny Manziel makes me so sad. It's heartbreaking. I mean, you look at his endless off-the-field issues, obviously, like, it sucks. The drama off the field for Johnny Manziel is discouraging and sad. But on the field, I believe the guy was tremendously overhyped. He had some really bad habits in college, and they were constantly reinforced. They were constantly, his bad habits were encouraged because he had some success with them. The guy won the Heisman Trophy, and everybody was telling him he was the best. And sadly, I think he bought into it. I mean, if everyone tells you you're Superman, and they keep telling you you're Superman, eventually you look around and go, yeah, I'm Superman. Like, I understand. And then he was a first-round pick. Of course, the dude was confirmed. Everything I believe about myself is true. I'm a fantastic quarterback with great skills. And nobody told him, hey, you got a bunch of flaws. You got a lot of things you got to work on. And, your success is really success that comes from bad habits. You're getting lucky, dude. You're not prepared for the NFL. He was a first-round draft pick, and it should have never, ever happened. He should not have been a first-round quarterback. And what that did was it raised expectations tremendously. Johnny Manziel's story is a sad story of a guy who was constantly overhyped by NFL standards. In the NFL, nothing changed. He had the same playing style, but it never worked the same. I mean, sure, he had some moments, right? Just like in college, Johnny in the NFL was great in the quick game. But he had an average arm, He didn't have Mike Evans. He didn't have great play design like the coaches he had at Texas A&M. And he has an average arm. He struggled with accuracy. He struggled with arm strength. And he threw interceptions because he just didn't have an incredibly high-level arm. He couldn't drive the ball downfield like he needed to. He didn't have the accuracy he needed to. Couldn't win games from the pocket like he needed to. Because all those bad habits that were reinforced in college and were confirmed, you don't need these things. They work. He got to the NFL and went, yeah, you need that. You need to be able to win games with your arm from the pocket. And against better athletes with better tackling skills, he was never able to run in the NFL with as much success as he ran in college. Touchdown runs became meager little 3-yard runs. And he passed up open receivers and made his life way harder by running around. I don't blame him. This is what had always worked for Johnny Manziel. But he held onto the ball way too long, and as a result, he got pummeled. The dude got killed. He took way too many big hits. Remember when I said that his style of play in college caused him to get hit a ton? Well, the same trend continued in his professional career. And it's why he's been hurt so frequently, and a large reason why he's missed so many games throughout that time. He also, like in college, in the NFL, he refused to let plays die. Made a bunch of risky passes that used to work. The throws that used to kind of work sometimes ended up just being interceptions every single time. And I can't imagine the emotional toll this must have taken on Johnny Manziel. I mean, truly, this makes me sad. No wonder the guy had so many off-the-field issues. I mean, imagine your whole life, everyone tells you you're amazing, and suddenly, overnight, everything you've always done suddenly doesn't work. I just imagine the harsh reality hit the guy like a brick wall. And what's even more sad is the guy had flashes of success. There are two things that make me sad about Johnny Manziel's career with the Cleveland Browns. One, his team was awful. He had bad wide receivers. He had some really inconsistent play design that I didn't agree with all the time. But what's really, truly sad is that he played on a bad team, and yet he had some flashes where it worked. Slowly, he did make improvements. He did actually, oh my gosh, wow. He ran a little bit less. He was learning to hang around in the pocket. There's a play where he looks around. He doesn't run. He doesn't escape. He sits, works all the way through his progression, finds an open man. Dude, that's awesome. That's a progression of who he is as a quarterback. That's a win. There's a play where he slides left. Instead of running away from pressure, he calmly slides to the left, throws an out. It's fantastic. All of this makes me wonder, the flashes he had in the NFL, having success occasionally, it just makes me wonder, what would have happened if everyone had had realistic expectations? If he'd been a 6th-round draft pick, or if he hadn't won the Heisman Trophy, would things have been different? I think they might have. This is a weird story. It's an aside, but I think it matters. I think it's really important. I've met Trent Dilfer a couple times in my life. He's a former Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's the head coach of the Elite 11 quarterback competition. He once asked me whether I loved football or I loved what football brought me. Do you love the game, or do you love the benefits the game gives you? The fame, the people writing about you, the interviews, this and that. And it's a hard question to ask yourself. You have to go, man, do I love the game, or do I love what the success is giving me? And I truly believe when all the success happened, Johnny Manziel fell more in love with the things that football brought him. But if he'd been a 6th-round pick with realistic expectations, he might have been a solid backup. If the guy had been in love with the game and the process rather than the things the game brought him, the parties, the fame, the tickets, the courtside tickets, this and that, Twitter followers, he might have been a solid backup in the NFL. He really might have. But instead, all of his past success hung over him like a weight. I mean, in Canada, in the Alliance of American Football, all the attention, everyone was always chanting his name and chanting for him to play, when honestly, he was just lucky to be on the roster. He should have been happy to be there. And the expectations were dialed to 11 because of his past success. And man, it sucks. It just is like, man. expectations were so unrealistic for Johnny Manziel. He got nailed in the CFL. He ran around a bunch, got hit really hard, got injured. Or in the AAF, I watched his game, and he just didn't. He had an average arm. He wasn't great. He's not an NFL quarterback, and he never was. He never showed signs of being a great NFL quarterback. But the media overhyped him. He got drafted way before he should have been in the NFL draft. And I just look around, and at the end of the day, Johnny Manziel is just a really sad story of a guy who was constantly overhyped. I just want to say thank you so very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports, and it is my favorite thing in the entire world. I love it. In fact, my dream is to someday do Strong Opinion Sports as my full-time job. If you believe in me, if you believe in that dream, please help me grow by telling.
Sophie wasn't happy with her phone company, but since switching to Public Mobile, where they're...
Tom Brady has been in the NFL.
Oh my. Oh, incredible. Okay. Thank you. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go stick out this canvas real quick. And always yeah. Yeah, and wow. Wow. Zero. Legend. And forward.
Rico.
Are you battling? Okay. Best part about this class right now. Ladies and gentlemen, people are still working. Did you draw this? Okay. Ooh, I bet you would. I don't know.
It seems like it has a spelling in it.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably the W's, the A, their name. Yeah. I love it when y'all draw me stuff. Well, put your name on there so I can give you credit. So I can put it up here with my. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's William. Last name Adams. Adams. Yeah. And it looks like something he would draw. But then again, it's not a truck. Yeah, he just left. Yeah. It's usually monster trucks. Because that's his thing. That's those monster trucks. About 5 minutes, guys. I need you to finish. I need your headphones and I need the fat lady. That's me. I'm a fat lady. Except when I'm teaching math. I'm not a bad lady. I'm not a bad lady. Yes. I was actually having to send an email. Put it on the back. Because you'll use it next, there you go. Put it on the back. On the back. On the back. On the back. Yep, just about.
This thing looks good. You think I could draw it out?
Oh, can you?
Yeah, 'cause I made it. Yes, I did. I did make it. Yes, I did. You have a camera here? You should have a camera here so then I can show you proof I made it. Yes, I did. I did make it. You will truly make it. I made that. I was just trying to punch you this whole time, but yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah.
I did finish it.
Nobody believes you.
Gots to. Gots to study. Just a little bit. No, just a lot. No, I'm done playing. Yeah, you play football? Yeah, who you play for? Oh, for real? You play basketball? Where you from? Yeah? Me too. Yeah.
Yes, I heard it. I think he's coming down the hall.
Yeah, I think I heard it. I think I heard it too. I'm letting him. I think I heard it. Yeah, I heard it.
What's that?
Some ideas.
What?
Yes.
What's
Just different stuff.
Thank
Different
you.
little stuff.
Probably you will. Right. That's what was on my desk before you got here.
Wait, hold on. I played Spike was gone. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Prove it.
You did. No, I did my pen. Let me get my pen. You ain't getting my pen. You didn't get my pen. That would be pretty accurate. You're right. Yeah. Exactly. We don't believe you.
I'll make the same thing and then let all prove it.
Yeah, you're pretty. Yeah. Y'all believe him? No, me neither.
He did it because I bet he didn't do it. I made it.
Mm-hmm.
Today's a blue day?
Yeah. It's a blue day. Where do you go for third period?